Okay, hi guys, this is Tomkulive from Tomkulive. Today I'm with Lois. She's the CEO of Daex. Thank you very much for accepting this interview.
Okay.
All right. So,
I mean, we get started now.
It's already started. It doesn't matter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's very flexible. Don't worry about it. So anyway, I already told you that I have no knowledge about your project, right, Daex? I mean, that's kind of on purpose, and the reason is because most of the people looking at this video, they won't have any idea about the white paper. Sometimes they read the pitch deck, but it's not very in-depth, right? So we're just trying to make it very easy for the people to understand it. Otherwise, I think it's really no worth. So let's try to make it very easy, describing your project to the audience.
Okay. Hello, everybody. I'm Lois, and I'm the partner and COO of Daex. Daex is a distributed clearing ecosystem for digital assets, and we have our own public chain. We call it clearing chain, and we have our Daex wallet. This wallet is specially designed for exchanges and crypto funds, so it's different from the individual wallet. And we can do the custody, token custody, and the clearing things for the exchanges. Yeah, that's what we do. We are actually the partners of digital asset exchanges.
Okay. So digital asset exchange means actually crypto exchange.
Yeah.
Okay, but crypto exchange, they don't have any trouble right now. I mean, what kind of value are you adding to their services?
Yeah, and before I came to Korea this time, several days ago, I had a meetup in Seoul, and I searched some data that I know there were a lot of Korean exchanges. They had been suffered the hack attacking. Yeah, this is very serious problems because people put a lot of money in the centralized exchange. They trust the exchange, but somehow, the technical power is not that good, and some hackers will steal their money away. So this is a problem that we really want to solve, because centralized exchanges, they are too centralized. They keep all people's money. So if I put my money in the centralized exchange, I don't have the ownership of my money because I don't have the private key. So we try to solve this problem. Some people said that, oh, you can solve this problem by decentralized exchange, because in decentralized exchange, people can hold the private key themselves. But actually, what we can see is that in decentralized exchanges, yeah, you have the safety, but in the same time, you have new problems. That is efficiency and the liquidity. For example, you make an order in a decentralized exchange. In several days, you can find that it's still there. Nobody takes the order. In this fast-paced industry, it's very serious problem. No liquidity in decentralized exchanges, and it's all usually not very user-friendly to proceed in decentralized exchange. So we are thinking that how we can find a solution to combine the advantages of centralized exchanges and decentralized exchanges. That's what we do as our project, the Daex. So we keep the transaction part for a centralized exchange. You can enjoy the very high efficiency in centralized exchanges and also the good liquidity. At the same time, you can hold your own private key because we offer them a clearing chain. That means in centralized exchanges now, the financial department, they keep their accounts. Right? Only internal people can see how much money are there in the centralized exchanges, but the real investors, they know nothing about their. So people can do some inside jobs. They can even steal their money away to do other investments, right? But if we put everything clear in the public chain, we call the clearing chain as our product. And you can see, oh, I put some money, I deposit the money and everything will be reflected in the clearing chain. So in this way, the centralized exchanges, they can't do anything bad to your money in the exchanges.
That doesn't solve the hacking problem.
Okay, that's the point. Why we can, I don't think that we can solve this problem because we can't prevent it, 100%. But if you hold, in our public chain, everybody holds their own private key. That means you keep your coin yourself. So let's imagine that if there are 10,000 BTC in one exchange and the hacker stole the money, they stole the private key, it means that 1,000 BTC will be moved away immediately. But if it's divided into 1,000 wallet address to 1,000 investors, that the exchanges won't have a huge loss of so much money immediately at once, because you keep your own private key. If you tell other people, or you just use the internet not in a very good way, somehow your private key, for example, you put it in an online environment and it was stolen by the hackers, it's your own fault. Yeah.
I mean, okay, I have two questions. The first one is actually, to avoid these hacking, and I totally agree that, I mean, when exchanges here, I'm just talking about Korea, not other global exchanges, but, when they talk about they got hacked, actually, always the question pops up, whether it's really a hack or it's an internal job,
Yeah,
So the transparency is definitely the problem. But I mean, what they say is that they actually kind of separate the money, right? I mean, part of that, like 10% or 20% is on their wallet, but 80% is on a hard wallet,
And I know there was a scandal in some Korean exchange that the police found that it's not the real hack attack. It's because of their inside job. Someone just removed the money for their own investment. So in this way, if we can put all the accounts in the public chain, the internal people of the centralized exchange, they can't abuse their authority. Right? Because everything is clear and transparent in the public chain. And for the hack attack part, first of all, everybody, they keep their own private key. It can decrease the risk that huge a lot of money was attacked at a time. And in another way, and the exchanges don't hold the assets anymore, because they don't have the people's coins. All the people's coins were kept in our wallet, Daex wallet, and our wallet is a distributed wallet. We keep all the private keys and we keep all the assets in a distributed way and store in offline. So that's why that we can prevent, I think, a lot of hack attacks. Because we are a very professional team. Our core teams, we have this related background. One of our core member called Hannah Zhang, and she is the founder and the main investor of our exchange called L Bank. L Bank is one of the top 20 exchanges around the world, and she was stepped into blockchain area for 4 years. And another core team member called Benjamin Gu, and he worked in OCC, optional clearing cooperation in America. And this is the only independent clearing house in the U.S. option market. So, he acted as a management team member in that company for 5 years. Our core team has this related background. So I think that we are professional enough to do these things. Especially for some small and medium exchanges, they actually don't have that powerful technical team who can protect the investors' assets. What they are good at is at the business part. Maybe they can attract a lot of blockchain projects, and they can do very good promotion, and they can design very user-friendly interface. But what they are not good at is the technical part, which is actually the most important part, because when it has something to do with people's assets, that's a part that we concern a lot. And we want to do is to solve the security problem in this area. That is, we can be the guardian of people's assets. We don't just serve the individual investors, but also serve for the exchanges. We do the custody for this, and we do the clearing for this. Thus, we can save a huge cost for them. Why I can say that is because you can imagine if you want to set up your own platform, you have to hire a lot of people as the technical department, the financial department, the risk control department. If you cooperate with us, you can save the cost of all these departments. Yeah, because we can do the transaction system for you, we can do the wallet part for you, and we can show you, in our Daex wallet, we have a management system for the financial people. You don't need to do anything manually. You can manage your deposit and the withdrawal part in the management system, and we have set different authorities for different people. If you are the CEO, you can see all the data, all the accounts. But if you are just someone nobody, you just have the very basic authority.
You're talking about the CEO of the exchange, right? But anyway, my question is, how's it possible? I mean, because we have the exchange, and the exchange. I mean, the reason they are getting hacked is because, if they do it, on chain, which is basically a decentralized, exchange. In that case, it's not going to work anyway. So right now, it's like, I mean, they found a way to do it, right? But it's just, actually, there's no trading going on, actually, right? It's just a number game right now, right? So my question is, you mentioned about the clearing. So does the exchange has to transfer all their currencies to your wallet, to the Daex wallet, and then in the Daex wallet, it's traded? How does it work?
Okay, there are two ways for exchanges who cooperate with us. The first way is to trust us and put their money in our Daex wallet and also reflect their assets in the clearing chain. This is the first way. Or they can choose just to use a clearing chain. They don't need to do the custody in our Daex wallet. Yeah, especially for some mature exchanges, they may have their own wallet for many years. They don't want to transfer their wallet to our own wallet. That's okay. They can choose just to reflect the assets. It means they don't need to do their own public chain. Because I know that there's a trend for some famous exchanges. They said that they are planning to do their own public chain. I think this is a trend that people, the investors, we need to see the very transparent things, right, in the public chain. So they can choose just to cooperate with us for the clearing chain. But if you are a very small or a new open up exchange, you don't have this power, you don't have this strength to do your own wallet. You can trust us and cooperate with us. And actually now we have several customers now who sign up contracts with us. There are several small and medium-sized exchanges because they think that our Daex wallet is much better than the way of Daex wallet and a clearing chain. But the Daex wallet is not a must for our cooperation.
Yeah, but about the Daex, I mean, if exchange use the Daex, then how's the trade going on? Because the Daex will have to accommodate all kinds of coins, right? And then it should be traded because the private keys still hold by the users, right? So it's like a decentralized exchange, is it? Or how does it work? That's my question.
Now, in our Daex wallet, for the very first version is that you just put your money in the wallet, but we support a lot of coins, ETH, BTC, Quantum, or other mainnet coins. But when when our wallet get integrated with the exchanges, and you can open your account, but you also need to do the transaction things in the exchange, not in our wallet. Until one day we get our API integrated with the exchanges, then maybe you can trade directly in the wallet. But it doesn't mean that our Daex wallet will do the transaction things directly. We are just partners with the exchanges.
For instance, then, if an exchange, deposit 100% of the cryptocurrency in the Daex wallet, and if somebody wants to cash out, if somebody at the exchange wants to send their bitcoins to another wallet, in that case, you have to get out the Bitcoin.
It depends. If this wallet or the exchanges are already the member of our clearing ecosystem, you don't need to go to other mainnet. All the money, for example, we have exchange A and exchange B. They are both members of our clearing chain. If you just withdraw money from exchange A to exchange B, that's okay. That's within our ecosystem, right? But if you want to withdraw money from exchange A to another exchange which has nothing to do with our Daex, in that case, that is cross-chain transaction. You need to pay for the other mainnet you need to, for example, if you want to withdraw money to some exchange, you need to pay for the ETH network. It has nothing to do with us.
So anyway, then in that case, how does it work? Because the exchange, because I'm the customer, right? I want to send my Bitcoin or cash my Bitcoin out, so I want to sell it, right? And then I want to get cash. So then, the exchange will make the necessary kind of paperwork, the numbering, right? I mean, it will try to sell the Bitcoin to another person, right? And that's going to be within the wallet, within the Daex wallet, and then it cashes out. But that's not a problem. Then what about it has to this customer wants to send his Bitcoin to another exchange that is not actually a member of the Daex platform. In that case, how does it work? Because he has the private key, so he's just sending from the Daex wallet to the Bitcoin wallet of the other exchange. Is that how it works?
Okay, so if I want to sell out my BTC to another exchange which has nothing to do with Daex, I think first of all you need to deposit your money to some other wallet, and then you you withdraw the money from your original exchange and to deposit the money in some wallet.
Or the original exchange is you actually, right? Because I have my exchange, but my cryptocurrency is in the Daex wallet, right? So I have to withdraw it from the Daex.
Okay, so we will not be involved in the transaction part. Okay, we just do the clearing things. But if these two exchanges are all within our ecosystem, we don't need to do the we don't need to go out of our ecosystem, and you can pay just a very low transaction fee as Daex, as our token Daex. But if you have to go out of the ecosystem, you have to pay for another mainnet. That is true. But when we talk about the transaction problem that you just asked me, I think that now it's impossible that you can change your Bitcoin to another exchange directly. You have to first withdraw money and deposit your money to another exchange, then you can trade, right?
Yeah,
but if you
another Bitcoin wallet.
To another.
Just another.
Okay, so you need to withdraw your money first and deposit to another wallet.
Yeah.
You need to pay for the gas fee for another mainnet, and also some little transaction fee for us, for Daex.
But then basically, okay, so back to the cash out. In that case, actually, you're going to send, for instance, I want to cash out 1 Bitcoin, all right? In that case, actually, the Bitcoin will be transferred from the Daex wallet to the exchange wallet. Is that how it works?
To the exchange wallet?
To cash out.
Okay, if there are just two exchanges within our wallet, within our ecosystem, you actually don't need to do the real withdrawal things. What we need to do is just to change the number of your account, because it's everything happen in our ecosystem. But if it goes out of our ecosystem, you need to do the real withdrawal. We call it settlement. It's not clearing anymore, because clearing and settlement, they are different. Clearing is just to keep accounts that you judge in which account, how much money do they have. But if you do settlement, that is, you really need to do the withdrawal, because the real number have changed, and you need to judge that, how many people in this, how many money in this account, and how much money in that account, and you need to do the change of the money really. So that's different things. Clearing and settlement, they are totally different things.
I'm just still kind of, I don't know why it's beneficial to actually change that. Of course, up and running, not up and running, I mean, what do you call that? Just starting, exchange. I mean, they might feel the need for your product because, they anyway need a wallet, but more existing, established, exchanges, I don't see why they want to.
Yeah, that is a very good problem. Actually, I was asked thousands of times. For example, will Binance, cooperate with you, or some similar questions. Actually, now from the marketing part, what I can see is that our main customers in this stage, at least, they are mostly new exchanges and the small and medium-sized exchange. I have to be honest, because if you are already a very big and mature exchange, some exchange, they choose to do their own public chain. And some exchange, for some reason, maybe they don't want to make everything transparent. But for the newly opened exchanges and the small exchanges, first of all, they want to establish their own reputation. The market, the competition is very severe. If they want to stand out, they have to find out a feature. But if they cooperate with us, at least they can show that, oh, we are transparent and everything in our ecosystem is clear. So they have the power, they have the motivation to cooperate with us. And secondly, which is very important, is that if they cooperate with us, we can save them a lot of money. They don't need to establish a very big financial or technical department anymore. They can choose to use our wallet directly to manage all their coins. And also we can set a lot of risk control rules in this management system, so they don't need to hire extra risk control people. And also, we have a company called Daex Blockchain. Daex Blockchain is a company that we can do transaction system for them. As I just said, that our team, we have a very rich experience in the exchange area, so we can share our experience to them. And if this is a newly established exchange, they can use our transaction system, and our transaction system can be integrated into the wallet 100%. That will be very cool for them. What they need to do is just the BD, business development things. They don't need to care about the technical and financial things anymore. So in this way, we can save them a lot of money. And especially if they find someone else, nobody in the market to do a transaction system for them, maybe they will be cheated, because if you don't do much about code, perhaps they will just do something bad in the code, and they will keep the private key. But if we do this for them, we ask for a very little share. We will be the stakeholder of this newly established exchange, and in this way we can have long-term relationship because we have the motivation. We hope they can support them to grow together, and in one day they can be our customer of clearing chain. We can grow together, and so we won't do anything bad to them, and we only ask for a very little fee compared with some other transaction system providers. Yeah, so that's what we do. We can help newly established exchange from the very beginning, the transaction system, the Daex wallet, and then our clearing tree. And also, you can imagine that now we have cooperated with 7 exchanges. Some are big and some are middle and small sized, because we do all the transaction system and the wallet system for them. So these exchanges can share the same order book.
So the big ones, how many, and what's the rank of?
Oh, now the big.
You don't have to divulge the name of them.
Okay, the biggest one till now is Airbank. Airbank.info. I think that perhaps most of Chinese users will be very familiar with them. And
you have a special relationship, so.
Yes, because their investors is our.
Right.
But even we have very special relationships, I think that their exchange, our product is not good enough, they won't use our wallet. And also we support several exchanges in the Southeastern Asia. I don't know whether you know that there's an exchange in Indonesia called the Daex. This is the largest, this is the largest exchange in the local market, and we have already cooperated with them. And Xbreak, which is Australian exchange, this is also very new. I think it's only set up in April or May this year. And also we have cooperated with several other exchanges in Southeastern Asia. Yeah, that's how we do for them from the very beginning. And in the future, we want to share the order book within all these exchanges. It's like a virtual exchange alliance or something. It's not a...
Can I make a remark?
Okay.
Yeah, I was just waiting for you to stop, actually. So anyway, my question is, because it seems like that. I mean, this kind of how can I put it, like WordPress? I mean, if you want to create a exchange, all they have to do is just create the system, right? I mean, the numbering system, and they of course have to get the user base, but the user base will grow, of course. So at the beginning, they can just plug into your clearing chain, and then just start it, right? I mean, the first impression is that, you know, then there will be a lot of, you know, new actually exchanges, you know, they can pop up, you know, because, you know, it doesn't need a lot of money to set up an exchange, right? Because they can just use your system, right? So, I mean,
there are some basic requirements for them. It doesn't mean if you want to open up for exchange just.
but it makes it easier. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying,
makes
right?
it
Because, you
more
know, it's
easier,
it has not been so easy before. So, but, you know, with your system, the technological part, yeah, the recording, the tracking, I mean, that's all settled. So the most important parts are actually settled. So it means that, you know, more exchanges can, you know, actually come up. But then, I mean, you know, what I think is that, you know, right now we already, you know, one day, hopefully, you know, sooner than later, I hope that, you know, the government in each country, especially in Korea, will kind of, you know, set up a very stringent rule and kind of, you know, take care and put in order this market. You know, I don't think it's not only me, and I believe, you know, there's some voices saying, and I partly agree to them, that, you know, actually there maybe someday there will be one, you know, Korean, you know, Daex, like Daex style, you know, Korean exchange, or a couple of more, you know, and they will just, you know, dominate the market here and get controlled by the government, and, you know, they are relatively more safety than, you know, the current ones. In that case, you know, it can, not only here, but, you know, in the States and, you know, in the other countries, they follow suit, and, you know, then it kind of will put, you know, the exchange landscape in order. In that case, actually, you know, your business might, you know, get hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to consider the reality.
Yeah, that's very important.
Yeah.
Actually, I think you are so smart, because just 10 minutes ago, you know nothing about us. Now you can speak so much. I'm so impressed about that. Okay, let's get back to the topic. The reason why we want to create the Daex is what we see that in the traditional financial market. Because we are all very familiar with the stock market. In stock market, there are different roles. You have investment bank, you have SEC, you have a law firm, accounting firm, clearing house, different roles. They share the different authorities. But in the digital asset exchanges, I mean in the cryptocurrency market, there are only one role. It's exchange. Exchange, they do the law firm, they do the accounting firm, they do the investment bank.
Not tax.
Yeah.
Not tax.
Almost everyone. Yeah, they are the clearing house, and they are also the SEC who make regulations themselves. Now, right? They can judge that who can get listed, you know. But now we can see the trend is like, because the crypto market is booming very fast, so we need the regulations to develop at the same time. Now every government, they try to make some regulations, but I think that the speed to make regulation is much lower than the development of the market, of the especially the price market, right? So as a startup, we see that how we can do in this market. Yeah. So I think that this is a real trend that the crypto market will be more and more compliant, just as the traditional financial market. There will be more roles in this market. So we choose us to do we are like a bank who can do the custody in the traditional market, and we act as the independent clearing house. But how can we prove that we are transparent? We don't steal people's money, so we choose a way to do the public chain. If people, the investors and the exchange, they put the money in their wallet, how can they trust us we won't steal their money?
Right.
Yeah, this is why we do the public chain. As long as we put everything in the blockchain that people can check how the status of their money, they can trust us. We don't need to prove us by any backup from one government, because blockchain is cross-border business. There can't be all the governments in the world to make the same regulations, but code is law, right? We can put everything in blockchain that everybody, every exchange in every country can trust us. Nobody can do things bad anymore. So that's the reason why we do this. We went to I always describe Daex as we are the bank and the clearing house in the cryptocurrency market. Yeah, that's the thing that we want to do.
Bank, you also loan to people?
Oh.
You lend money?
No, I mean a bank, it means that if you want to trade in the stock market, your money is actually not in the exchange. Your money is in the bank, some designated bank that who can keep your money. Our wallet is such as the bankroll. Yeah, you put the money outside, out of the exchange. The exchange, they don't care about the money. They don't keep the money. They just do the transaction system. They can provide a better transaction business. They can look for and nurture more good blockchain projects. I think that's what they need to do. So as you said that we lower the standard to step into this cryptocurrency market. If you are, for example, if you have many good resources experience in stock market and you have the user base and you have the very mature cost control experience, but you don't know how to start up in the cryptocurrency market, then we can help you. I think that within these recent 2 years, the newly opened and the small and medium-sized exchange are our clients. We don't need to do the whole market at the same time from the very beginning. It's like Alibaba and Google. They don't do all the business at the very first. But when they are bigger, I think that this is a trend. Even the big exchanges, they don't cooperate with us. That's okay. But I think that one day the governments may need some, make some rules that the exchange, they can't do the clearing themselves. We need an independent clearing house. That could be Daex or someone else, but I really believe that this is a trend that one day we'll realize. Yeah.
Okay, makes sense. And I mean, what is the mechanism of your blockchain? I mean, like consensus system, or is it POW or?
Oh, okay. We created a consensus ourselves called ASPOS. It's similar. It's similar as POS, but we made something change. I think you can read all the details in our technique. ASPOS. It's a combination of air ground, the air ground, and also the POS. Because and we created a factor called CVS, clearing value factor. That means we determine how much your contribution you do in our ecosystem and how much rewards you can get. I think that if you are interested, people, you can download our technical white paper in our website.
The contribution is the contribution done by the exchanges?
Oh, no. Not only the exchanges, but only individuals can involved in our ecosystem. For example, you are just an individual who use our Daex wallet and you put some money in the wallet. You don't do the clearing yourself directly, but you can contribute some of your Daex token. I mean, you can make a deposit of your token and to support some exchange. And this exchange can do clearing for you, and you can also share some token from that exchange. So everybody can be involved in the clearing ecosystem. But I think the main part should be the exchanges because they do a lot of clearing every day.
So the exchange, actually, I mean, the blockchain is kind of, complementary, actually, right? I mean, because, it's more about, the providing the clearing kind of mechanism to the exchanges, right? Okay. And I think, I mean, I'm just trying to, I had a question, actually, and
It's okay.
yeah, I had a very important question, actually. There was the wallet, and then the exchanges. Then you walk around. Oh, yeah. My last question is actually about, again, why would exchanges like Daex, okay? I understand, your vision, that's going to be someday, separated. It could be governmental, but I mean, it's basically giving their user data to you guys as well. You understand what I'm saying? Because you will have all the user data of the exchanges. That's great power.
Okay. First, we don't get all the detailed information of their users. This is their privacy. They don't need to share. To us, they are just account name, account A, account B, but we don't know all the details. That's the part that kept by the exchange, of course. Okay, this is the first question. And the second question, a very direct motivation for them is that if you cooperate with us, you need to consume Daex as your transaction fee at the very beginning. We will give you some Daex. So you don't need to pay anything at the very beginning. You can use our Daex wallet for free. So why do you want to try? So yeah, that's very direct reason. You don't need to pay anything, and you can even get some investment from us. And we already get listed in several exchanges. You can see a very clear price in the secondary market. Yeah, if you cooperate with us, because now we need some clients to show that we are, convincing to do these things. So we will give them Daex as a gift or something, and they can use it in their Daex wallet as a transaction fee, and they can also keep it, this has a very clear price in the secondary market. And also, we help them to do all the other things and save some money of the technical and department.
So you don't think that's going to be a hindrance to the exchanges making the decision to join your platform? Well, because if I'm the owner of an exchange and I have to make a decision whether to use your platform. In that case, I would think that why would I give my user base to you guys?
Oh no, you don't need to give the user
But
base.
you're going to be, if they are going to be joining your platform to use the Daex, right? Because by your platform, they're going to be able to see transparently, what's happening in the exchanges, and also, they can make all the transaction because the private key is actually held by them, by means of your platform.
Yeah.
And but just by that, actually, if I'm an exchange, I would kind of, don't like it.
Okay. The user base system is separated from the wallet system. Now, we don't get the very clear information of all the user. They can keep their privacy themselves. Yeah.
I know, but from the exchange point of view, they will think that, because basically they are my users, but they are your users too.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But to me, they are not actually they are. The very specific accounts for us. Yeah, user A means account A, user B means account B. And and also there's another motivation that now the exchange, they need to pay a lot of transaction fee between different exchanges, because exchanges now, they are also market makers. They need to, deposit and withdraw money from their exchange and to other exchanges. But if all the exchanges join our clearing system, they can save a lot of money of the transaction fee. They don't need to pay for ETH or BTC mainnet anymore. They just pay Daex, and Daex is the part that we give them at the very beginning. But after some time, they have to buy some Daex themselves. But from the very beginning, as a trial, they can try to use our exchange.
But another problem is because, like in Korea, if you want to do some, trading on exchange, you have to provide your KYC information.
Yeah, of course.
For instance, you have to have a valid, bank account, right? But there could be a possibility that actually, your kind of, platform could be a walk around, way to actually circumvent, that and, just, trade. It could be possible.
How can I see you are so smart? You just
No,
you just express the part that we want to do in the future. If you read our white paper very detailedly, you can see that what we want doing is not just a clearing chain. We also want to do an ID chain. That's a part that you just mentioned. I'm so surprised you didn't read our white paper.
You guys are thinking well.
But you have already seen what we want to do in the future. Yeah, people that they need to do KYC in exchange, 10 times of KYC in 10 exchange. They just need to do one time in our Daex wallet. And we can share the KYC information to every exchange we are cooperated. That's very easy for the users because they don't need to do the multiple things.
Yeah, and by separating it out, it could give more objectivity, right, and more authority, right? I totally agree. And what about the token economy? Of course, the token will be used for transaction fees, right? And is there any other utility of the token?
Oh, yeah, of course. For example, the exchange, they have to pay for the clearing fee for us. And for users, you withdraw your money from A to B, you have to pay a very little transaction fee. That's the transaction fee. And also in our ecosystem, we would do some derivatives in the future. For example, you deposit some Daex and you can borrow some ETH or something. So Daex will be used in the derivative market. And also we have many other scenarios that you can use Daex. As long as you want to pay, you can use Daex as a tool.
Pay what?
Oh, for example, if you want to withdraw your money from our from one of the exchange in our ecosystem and to other exchange out of the ecosystem, you have to pay another mainnet as a gas fee, and also you need to pay Daex as a transaction fee. Also, if you are our client of Daex wallet, for example, I can give you a very detailed information. You can now, if you want to send your client some gift, you can send a card, and our card is a token card. You can put your client's email address there, and your client can get, for example, 10 BTC as a gift. And if you want to use this function, you need to pay Daex. This is for different functions in our Daex wallet.
All right, so you have a variety of options for the
Yeah,
tokens.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, I think it was pretty comprehensive conversation, and I mean some things you already have set up and thought about, and some things you have in the pipeline, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So how's your development, and when are you going to launch the clearing blockchain?
Okay, let me tell you about our roadmap. We have released our Daex wallet last month, and in this month, September, Airbank and the CDEX, which is Thailand exchange, they will officially transfer their wallet to our wallet. So at that time, maybe the users can't, the users don't do, of Airbank and CDEX, they don't need to do anything. It's just the exchange side, they need to transfer the wallet. And also, at the end of this year, we will release our testnet of clearing chain. And the next year, June of the next year, we will release a mainnet. And when we release a mainnet, people can participate in our mining. They can get Daex from our consensus.
Okay. All right. Do you have any last words to the audience?
Yes. Shall I look at that? Yeah. Yeah. Actually, we just started our Korean market, and if you are interested in us, you can follow our Kakao group and Facebook and Naver blog. And now we are doing a public sale in our official website. Our official website is www.daex.io, and each Daex was 7 cents dollar. So if you are interested, you can take part in our public sale. Yeah.
And Leslie, I mean, your background.
Huh?
I mean, you bragged about your founders, right? What about you? I mean, where you come from?
Okay. I'm Lois. I'm from Shanghai. I'm the COO and partner of Daex. And when I stepped into this industry, I worked in Tencent. Do you know Tencent? Yeah, Tencent. Yeah, WeChat. And actually, my job in Tencent was the business development of WeChat Pay. I witnessed the project of WeChat Pay, how it grew from 0 user to hundreds of millions of users. Yeah, because at that time, my job was to find more application scenario for WeChat Pay on both online and offline. So I talked to a lot of big corporates to help them to use our product WeChat. Because several years ago, it's really hard for people to imagine that you can scan a QR code and you can pay anything anywhere. Now in China, you don't need to bring your wallet. You don't need to use credit card. All you need to do is take your cell phone and you can pay everything. Pay in shop, restaurant, taxi, and everything. But the reason why I left the Tencent is that I feel, the internet industry is so mature. It's not cool anymore. I want to find something new and cool. So yeah, that's why I'm now in the blockchain industry and doing these new things.
Yeah, very good. But this is not about Tencent. Okay, anyway. All right, this was Tom.
Actually, there are many experts from Tencent. They are trying to do a blockchain area. And me, as my private business, I'm the founder of Tencent blockchain community. So I organize all people from Tencent who are doing blockchain business now. We are a small community. Yeah. And I want to do something for Chinese, blockchain. Because I think that these people, we have the same background, and they are all many outstanding people in the internet industry, and they can contribute their knowledge in the new industry.
All right. Okay, this was the smartest person in the world, Louise. I really enjoyed our conversation. Thank you very much, and
Thank you.
get ready for the next challenge. It was Tomku. Bye bye, guys.
Bye bye.